Hey, welcome in. Well, this is going to be a fun one. We get to make fun of celebrity idiots, and I always enjoy doing that. Here we have, from the Daily Wire, 8 celebrities hardest hit by Trump derangement syndrome. Now, I was surprised that Alec Baldwin actually isn't in this list. He's certainly quite deranged. But there's so many celebrities that could have been on this list that you had to, I guess the writer of this article had to pick, 8. But of course, the list could go on forever. Because as we know, celebrities, anybody in the entertainment business or apparently sports or pretty much anything else, knows which side their bread is buttered on. And they know that if they don't think that Orange Man bad, they'd better think that Orange Man is bad, and they better say that they think Orange Man is bad. It's a pretty simple recipe, really. Anyway, who do we have first? Well, this might be the biggest case. Robert De Niro. Now, it saddens me because, Goodfellas, Casino, Raging Bull, those are great movies. And he was great in them. He is a really good actor, or at least he used to be. I'm not sure you can really say that so much anymore. But, he was in some great movies. Whether or not his politics are so poisonous that it in fact poisons his back catalog, I don't know. Will I watch Goodfellas again? Maybe. I don't know. It is a great movie, but Robert De Niro is a celebrity idiot with TDS. There's no question about that. Let's see, what has he been up to? He keeps threatening to punch Trump, which is, my understanding is that Robert De Niro is a very small man. Very small man. Trump is a very large man. And maybe it's not a rule, but it doesn't tend to go very well for the very small man in that situation. But anyway, let's see. What do they say here? He famously cursed out the president at the 2018 Tony Awards broadcast, drawing a standing ovation from the potential TDS sufferers. I mean, the thing is, in that, mathematically, it's just not possible that everybody there thinks Orange Man bad and has TDS. But if you know what's good for you, you better not be the one not applauding, because that's going to get noticed. And that's going to get out onto social media, and that's problems for you with your getting your next job. Let's see. Prior to that, the Raging Bull star openly wished to punch Trump in the nose, calling him a gangster, and said far worse whenever he stood before a mic or journalist pad. Then you might say, well, Robert De Niro calling him a gangster, well, he would know. But actually, he wouldn't know. He's not a gangster himself. Maybe he thinks that he is. Maybe he thinks that he's one of these characters that he's played in the movies, but he is an actor. He is not a tough guy. He is a guy who does make-believe for money and fame and adulation. He's not actually any of the characters that he's played, and apparently nobody has told him that. Anyway, let's move on. John Cusack says here, the Say Anything star's celebrity profile isn't what it was when he was cranking out teen comedies in the 80s. Cusack still works, but his movies primarily debut on VOD and offer genre thrills over serious fare. Now, I did like Hot Tub Time Machine. I did think that was a good movie. But that still doesn't change the fact that John Cusack has serious TDS. Let's see, what does he have to say? He says the U.S. military abandoned Trump, how he routinely lashes out at Trump voters as racists, echoing the worst comments of Trump critics. He also called Trump a test run for true evil. And when you hear comments like this, you have to wonder, have they paid any attention to anything that's happened before Trump got into office? Like, did he pay any attention to what previous presidents were doing? Including Obama? Because I think, as far as I could tell, Trump's, world body count is a lot lower than his predecessors. No new wars. How about that? Let's see. And apparently he's no angel himself here, this John Cusack. He retweeted an anti-Semitic message during one Twitter Rage Fest, and he later deleted the comment, but not before briefly blaming a bot for the share. Those darn bots constantly hijacking John Cusack's account. Anyway, he thinks he's very important, and he has very important things to say, which is common for people with TDS. Let's see, Bette Midler. Okay, let's see. She shared a fake quote about Trump to her millions of online followers. Why would anybody be following Bette Midler? It's not like, is she a big star anymore? Like, I'm interested to know who is so fascinated by Bette Midler that they want to hear her day-to-day thoughts on social media. Who are these millions of people? Anyway, as she steered into TDS hard by using racially charged insults against his fans, describing a group of black supporters behind the president as being his black ground. Well, this shows you what the left actually, what these leftist celebrity elitists, what they actually think about the people they pretend to advocate for. Not very much. Oh, let's see. She also dubbed First Lady Melania Trump as an illegal immigrant and mocked her accent. So I thought you weren't supposed to. I thought that's what they hated Trump for. I thought that they hated Trump for being against illegal immigration. And I haven't heard Trump mock anybody's accent. Aren't these supposed to be the things that they hate? This is like an example of the doublethink in this modern leftist movement, especially amongst these champagne socialists. You know, here are opinions that are bad, except in certain circumstances where they're good, where it works for them. Because it's clear by now that to the left and the far left of the champagne socialists, there is no objective truth or reality. Things can be both true and not true at the same time. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's see, there's Rob Reiner. He made Stand By Me, Princess Bride, and This Is Spinal Tap. All certifiable classics. It's true, they are. Those are great movies. It doesn't matter. He has TDS. Let's see. Reiner said Trump's racism inspired supremacists to kill. This is one of those just evil, despicable claims that they make. It's sickening. He predicted Trump's recent Gettysburg speech would be an ode to white supremacy, of course. The director also declared that Trump was actively trying to kill our children. So this is all insanity, obviously. When they talk about Supremacy, you have to understand it could be anything to them. That could be a sandwich. That could be a glass of milk, right? It's all just convenience and fashion. And the thing is, they can make these claims, and 95% of the mainstream media just eats it up and gives them cover for making these ridiculous, insane claims. Oh, and here's a good one, Jim Carrey. Again, Dumb and Dumber, one of the best comedies of all time. Jim Carrey, Trump derangement syndrome. Just because you make some good art doesn't mean that you're actually intelligent. And we'll see this actually in this little segment. Let's see. He spends a large amount of time painting these days, but his artwork isn't focused on still lifes or Bob Ross-esque landscapes. No. He vents his Trump rage onto canvases, attacking not just the president, but nearly everyone associated with his administration in the most garish ways possible. That means Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and other Trump officials get ghoulish portraits that make Edvard Munch's scream look like glamour shots. So I guess this is is that supposed to be Sarah Huckabee Sanders? I think so. I don't think he's a great artist, so it's kind of hard to tell. Let's see. This is a portrait of a so-called Christian whose only purpose in life is to lie for the wicked. Monstrous. I'm not a religious man myself. I would say I'm agnostic, right? But why is it like, I'm pretty sure Jim Carrey is an atheist, probably a militant atheist. Why are people like that? Why do they love to say so-called Christian when they're judging somebody, when they're moralizing about somebody? They don't like Christianity anyway, so what difference would it make to them? I guess they think they're calling out hypocrisy. I would say it's pretty hard to call out hypocrisy when you're coming from the left or the far left these days. But anyway, here's the picture, and I guess the point of this is that the ideas that we come from, these celebrity idiots, are childish. They're utopian and childish. They're shallow. So is the art, as you can see. That belongs in a high school yearbook. Just going to interrupt for 1 second to say, if you like this content, subscribe so you can see more. Thanks a lot. It is not impressive. This is childish. Let's see, what else have we got here? This is, I guess, a Trump supporter who had COVID and is dying because Trump bad, Orange Man COVID or something. Oh, wait a second. I think this is Michael Moore. Is that Michael Moore? I think it might be. I don't know. I guess we'll never know. Stephen Colbert. Now, Stephen Colbert has just said a lot of horrible things, including about the blank holster for Putin, which was disgraceful. Oh, yeah, we've got it right here. All you need to remember is Colbert calling Trump Vladimir Putin's you-know-what holster to realize how far he'll sink to insult the president. That actually truly was shocking. Truly shocking. I don't know what portion of his audience he lost with that, but it had to be some. Let's see. Humor remains in short supply with your average Colbert rant. It's more about spinning for Democrats or taking Team Trump out of context. Let's see. What is Colbert's legacy? He helped turn the affable format into a hard left institution that actively chases away half the country on any given night. That's right. That's right. And this is TDS. When you're willing to destroy like an old cultural institution for what? For your narcissistic political posturings. You know, this addiction to virtue. Or, as I would argue, false virtue. In a way, though, he's done a lot of people a lot of good, including myself, because he's shown how shallow the whole celebrity culture is. Because that's all they do. They interview famous people, right? So not watching that is a net plus for anybody, right? Absolutely. You could do better things with your time. Same with sports. You know, I'm done with sports now. I'm finished after all the latest nonsense that's been going on. And you know what? I'm actually really glad. There's no bitterness or anything around it. I'm getting a lot more done. And I'm doing more useful things with that time. I don't need to spend 3 hours watching a bunch of millionaires running around paid to play a game. It is pointless. And a lot of what this left wing and kind of Marxist ideology seeping into the culture has done is shown us how unnecessary and pointless and worthless much of it is. So in a sense, it's doing a favor for everybody. Cher. Let's see. She's not a very nice person, apparently. She hoped for Trump to be thrown in jail and then forcibly loved by an inmate. As she said, he kills Americans without a thought. What does that mean exactly? And called a second Trump term the end of democracy. So it appears that Cher doesn't know what the word democracy means. If by the end of democracy she means all the same checks and balances as every one of his predecessors, and like wanting to preserve the Electoral College, I guess. Is that the end of democracy? I don't think they know what these words mean when they say them. And this kills Americans without a thought. That is true TDS. That's true Trump derangement syndrome. That doesn't mean anything. And then we have Kathy Griffin. And, I mean, she's not even really worth the time, is she? I mean, the whole beheading thing, and it's just... I mean, she's actually just kind of a non-entity anyway. I don't even know why she's on this list. What's the point? You know, again, she's really not even worth mentioning. So I guess we'll end it right there. What can we say about this? Well, there's a great phrase that I've heard thrown around a little bit as of late. How did that go? I think it went, get woke, go broke. So I'll just end this by saying, may all of these celebrities be a cautionary tale and a cautionary get woke, go broke story. May all of them go broke. Yeah, these people aren't really necessary. Even, movies, TV shows, I watch very little of it now. I still like The Walking Dead. I've just been invested in that for so long, but I can't watch any new shows. I just don't care enough. Maybe I just know too much of what's behind the scenes with the ideology and the way these people think and the way that they act now. But I just can't get into it. It feels really unnecessary now. This is not a crucial part of my life. It's not something that is going to affect my happiness one way or the other. There are many, many, many other far more rewarding things I can do with my time. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. That really helps out. There's also the podcast, The Richie Baloney Show, Radio Baloney. It's on every platform, pretty much every platform. Look for it. You'll find it. Thanks very much. I'll see you next time.